Hello guys, Crispy here, and today let's go old with the GTX 980 Ti from 2015 playing Alan Wake 2. This is of course with the latest game patch implemented that improved performance by quite a lot on GTX 10 series and RX 500 series, but what about the old GTX 980 Ti? Supposedly, it's very similar in raw performance compared to the GTX 1070 that they ask for in the minimum requirements now. So this one is a reference design version of the card, or you could say Founders Edition, but the Founders wasn't really a thing back then. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers. It still supports them, even though this is a 9-year-old GPU, and you can see all of its specs here in Tech Power-Ups GPU Z. Over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5700G and 16GB of RAM, and let's get into it, shall we? Okay, first up, let's go over the settings. I'm starting at 1080p native resolution using the lowest settings as usual. And well guys, the good old Maxwell GPU is getting a little bit higher performance than the GTX 1060 that I tried the last time around, but it is still not enough to achieve 30 plus all of the time. Thankfully, it seems like the patches that Remedy made to this game also apply to the 900 series a little bit, because this is performing probably a little bit better than it did back when the game released. At least these FPS are better than what the GTX 1080 Ti did back when the game released, or in the latest patch, basically. So it's safe to... Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, it's safe to say that performance has improved. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, this is really terrible for epileptic people. That's how you say it, right? Yeah, I think so. So, well, yeah, they definitely did say that they focused in improving performance of the 10 series, and well, they didn't really mention anything about the 900 series. So if you have a GTX 980 Ti, although performance might actually be acceptable once we turn on FSR 2, you know, on quality here at 1080p, it might be above 30 FPS. Yeah, with these issues, graphical issues, do not do this, guys. This is just not worth it. This is an unsupported GPU at this point, okay? Now, speaking of that FSR, let's try it with 720p or FSR Quality, 720p upscale to 1080p, of course. And it does... I mean, this game actually looks better with FSR 2 enabled. I will say it. It looks like you added some anti-aliasing, and it's a good form of like TAA. It's not super blurry, you know? Oh my gosh! What the heck is this? Okay. I hope this is not gonna break my graphics card. I don't think it will. The graphics card is completely fine, you know. Let's start counting our FPS. And let's see the performance with FSR 2 on quality. As you can see, so far, it's actually above 30 FPS, which is very impressive for what it is. A 9-year-old GPU running a game that it doesn't support, with technologies that it doesn't support as well, like mesh shaders, you know. Yeah, it's impressive that the power of the 980 Ti is still enough to achieve 30 plus FPS on average, not all of the time. Unfortunately, around here it still dips down into the 20s. But this is also worst case scenario. So if you go into the city part of this game, it's actually going to perform a little bit better. And here it's where it's going to drop the most. Actually, that particular corridor that we just went through in the woods is the most intensive area in the game, at least that I found so far. Yeah, it touches 40 FPS at times. Again, dropping into the 20s around here. Most of the time, it's gonna be fine in terms of FPS and visuals, but then those things happen, and it's not playable, guys, because of that. Like, the FPS are okay-ish, definitely quite a lot better than the GTX 1060 was, but this is... You could actually die because of that. That's terrible. I will put a warning in the title and in the beginning of the video, because this is actually bad for you. Yeah, they should probably make it so you can't launch the game on a 980 Ti or the 900 series, because that's really bad. Remedy, please fix, or maybe just say right away that the 900 series will have problems with flashing light and flashing screens. Let's try 360p resolution, ultra performance, FSR. Look at the FPS, guys. the 980 Ti still has what it takes to run games at 360p resolution. That does not sound impressive at all. But anyways, it does not look anything like 360p. Once again, FSR2 does an amazing job in this game. And now it's actually above 30 FPS. The GTX 1060 wasn't even getting 30 FPS in this area at 160p resolution. Not even 360p, 160p. So it's quite good to see that the 980 Ti can still provide better FPS than the GTX 1060 when the game has been sort of optimized or patched for 10 series GPUs, but it's still unplayable. And even if it didn't have those artifacting issues or flashing lights or whatever, it wouldn't have been a good experience, right? Like, you need to drop it down to 360p to get 29 plus FPS all of the time, even at 720p or with FSR quality and 1080p resolution, it will still drop into the mid-20s, and it's not a good experience. So yeah, avoid this game even with the latest patch on 900 series cards. And thanks very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't kill anybody. Oh boy. And I'll catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye. Stop it, please, game. What the heck is this? Like, come on.